Hello everyone, welcome to Lever Guns 50. Today we're talking about bear defense guns and how you never need them. There's no bears in Alabama. We don't need bear defense weapons. But if we did, we'd use this 1886 and 5110. Sounds like I keep hearing something breathing down my back or something. But anyhow, this thing here, it would take out a T-Rex. So I believe it'll work just fine. Talking about bear defense weapons and what I would use. And this is the particular gun that I would definitely use in the case of bear defense, because it is a 5110 and it is capable of taking out this bear with no problem, and even up to, the biggest bear on earth. It'll produce up to 6,400 foot-pounds of energy, which I'm sure is plenty sufficient to take out any bear. And so what I'm going to talk about a little bit is the bullets that I would use. Now, this is my thought. The particular bullet I think would be good to use is a 350 grain cutting edge bullet, because upon impact it's going to shear off and leave like all these little shards of brass shooting up through. And so if you shot it in the head, those shards of brass is bound to hit the brain somewhere. And then the main chunk of the bullet is just going to keep on penetrating on through there. So you're going to have penetration plus extreme damage. So I think that would be a good round. Out the velocity first. Velocity was 2,661 feet a second, which is 61 feet a second faster than I shot it out of the shorter barreled gun. This is how that bullet does going in. You can see these paths coming off of it. That's where it comes apart, and those shards of metal break off of it. So it makes a really interesting wound channel. Let's come around on the side. You can actually see one right here, and you can see look like two of them come down through the bottom. This one here exited, this one here exited out the top, that other one exited out of that side. Most of them look like they exited all the way out of it. There's that wound channel come all the way down. Now that's the main core of it. After those petals break off, it comes on down, and it went through this one, and then if you can see, it comes down through this one and exits out the top. So it went through two 16-inch gel blocks and exited. There's that where it come out. There's looking from this side. But if you look, that is a horrific wound channel. I mean, it measures the complete size of that block, which is 6 by 6. Because it goes all the way to all four sides of that block, which is, that's a lot of damage. Another round I think would be good is the Barnes 450 grain bullet, or and I don't know if they're still in business, but Woodley made a 500 grain bullet that would be perfect for bear defense. But I really think that this would make a really great bear defense gun, and there's several reasons why. A good friend of mine, he survived a bear charge when the bear charged him, because his friend that was actually hunting the bear failed to kill it. So the bear charged, and all he had was a 44 Magnum lever action Marlin. That would be a 94 Marlin. And so he proceeded to shooting the bear, and of course he held real steady. He didn't get all nervous and scared and flinched and all that stuff, but he stood his ground and he kept shooting until the bear died. Now the bear, every bullet pretty much went through a major Oregon. One of them broke one of his shoulder blades or bones. And I mean, the bullets just really tore up that bear. And obviously, bears are very tough and hard to kill. And that's why I think this particular gun would be really good, because I don't think a bear could handle very many shots from a 5110. Now, obviously, this is a fairly light gun, and it's not going to be hard to carry out through the woods. I've heard some people talk about it might be good to drop down on one knee if the bear is charging you, so that, you know, if I'm standing up here and the bear is approaching, you know, I'm aiming a little bit different. Now, obviously, a bigger grizzly bear, and if you're short like me, you might want to just aim straight on, because if you're, you know, under 7 foot tall, I don't know how much down you're going to have to aim at a grizzly bear. But say if the bear is downhill running up, I think you're pretty much just going to be aiming straight at it. If it's uphill running down and you're close to the edge of the hill, you might get down so that the bear is not moving down out of sight, you know. So if the bear's moving down and you're not following it just right, you'll have to shoot over top of it. So that may or may not come into perspective, but main thing is you need to be a good shot, be able to throw your gun up on target and get that bullet in that bear as quick as possible before it closes the ground and eats your lunch and pops the bag. Now, this particular 1886 and 5110, it holds 7 rounds. So I mean, 7 plus 1, that should be plenty. Should be able to take out, you know, even multiple grizzly bears if they happen to charge. But this is my perspective. Now, I've never actually had to shoot a grizzly bear charging. I've never even seen a grizzly bear in the wild. But I know what gun I would carry, and it would either be this 1886 and 5110 or my other one, and maybe a 4590, because that definitely will get the job done with the right bullet. But, you know, if I was just going to pick one of them, and I was going to go where I was pretty sure, say like there was especially if I was out there and I knew there was a wounded grizzly bear and I had to maybe take it out of its misery, this is definitely the gun I would use. Because I don't know about you, but I don't like to take chances. I've played enough video games, and I'm tired of you shoot something 60,000 times before it finally gives up. I like to take it out with the first shot. I don't believe in all this taking undersized guns and shooting 10 million shots and finally get the job done. I want to do it with the first shot, because the first shot, if you get it done with the first shot, guess what? Your heart rate don't have to get way up. You don't have to see your whole life flashing before your eyes, like if you're fixing to get 8, and you don't have to see it slide up to your foot and almost attack you. Just take it out with the first shot. All right, here's our bear. We got our backstop behind it. We're gonna get back a little ways and turn and fire on this bear that's gonna be sneaking up and then charging us, and see if we can take it out with 1 or 2 shots. So we'll try not to hit our camera here when we turn to fire. I'm gonna say we're walking about right here, and then we hear a crunch behind us. We turn around. Right here, and then we hear a crunch behind us. We turn around. Behind us. We turn around. Now, I shot it right here and right here as quick as I could. I think that would have took it out. What do you think? Now, my thought was on this first shot is to kind of try to take it down here toward the chest a little bit, and then the second shot was like if it was closing in and you got to make it die right now, and I think it would have died. I don't know what you guys thought. I thought that was a whole lot of fun. I feel like, you know, we could have took out a bear if it was charging. Those right there rounds was producing close to 5,000 foot-pounds of energy. They wasn't the hottest load I've ever loaded, but they wasn't no wussy-fied loads. Those was 525 grain, take that back, 530 grain bullets, and they would have definitely took this bear out. Probably nearly full body penetration. But we have a bunch of videos on shooting these big calibers, and we're gonna mix them into the show and kind of show you what it does to ballistic gelatin and stuff with this really high-powered 1886 lever action and 5110. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching. God bless each and every one of you. Come back and see me, you hear?